When I go to makeup shows or events, I like to really focus on my complexion. I want to look healthy and glowy. I don't use a lot of products, but what I do use, I get what I was actually mistaken at this past Generation Beauty, that pregnancy glow, even though I'm not pregnant. I was asked in the train station, am I pregnant? Nope, it's just my skin. So let me show you how I did it. I always reach for the Belif, the Truth Cream Aqua Balm. It really offers a lot of hydration to my skin, and it makes whatever foundation I put on top of it look perfect. Skin-like, it can even thin it out for you. It's a great makeup primer. So I put that on first, including my neck area, and then I reached for Double Wear, Estée Lauder, because I did not want to worry about my skin throughout the entire day. So one pump is all I need, and I actually use my fingers because I keep it skin-like for this particular look to keep it glowy. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually using the excess from one side of my face and pressing it into the various areas of my complexion. So see how I just take it off one cheek and put it on the forehead and so forth. Really get it into the skin. And what's good about Double Wear is it allows you the time to move it about. It doesn't start to dry super quick and makes you feel like you're in a rush. So I really like that. To lightly spot conceal, I'm going to use Estée Lauder's Double Wear Maximum Cover. It's the maximum cover foundation for their face and body. So I first like to apply it to the actual areas first with my fingers, kind of just blend it in. And then I will actually use a buffing concealer brush to further blend it into my skin, and it just starts to disappear. The concealer for underneath my eyes is going to be L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer in the shade Cocoa. So I'm pressing that onto my under eye area. You want to press it in like stamp motion so you don't disturb your foundation. Then with the damp beauty blender, I will blend that into my skin, and anything that is excess will go up through my nose area, on forehead, as well as on my eye socket. To set my concealer area, I'm going to use Urban Decay's Naked Skin Ultra Definition Loose Finishing Powder. I'm in the shade Naked Medium Dark. So I'm just going to set that underneath my eyes with, again, the damp beauty blender. And then I'm going to actually press just a little bit of extra, just a little bit. I do not bake. It makes me look dry, and I don't like that. I preheat, so I will put just a little bit of extra powder in that area. I'll put it on my nose. I press it into the smile lines. I press it into the chin. I press it in the areas I want to help not a lot of shine breakthrough to come through throughout the day. And then I will brush off the excess, and it's fast. So preheat, no baking. Just like a car, going in the car wash, getting polished, take my brush and brush anything excess that the sponge left behind, brush it away. And it feels really good too. Now I'm going to lock it in place. Lock it first with Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water and dry it off with my fan. To contour, and I'm going to be pretty much using a lot of cream products moving on. I'm going to use Urban Decay's All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer, but this is in the shade Extra Deep Neutral. This is the shade I've been using to contour with, It has a very rich skin tone shade for me, has some warmth in it, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. It blends into my skin like a dream when I use the stippling brush. I'm going for that toasted, burnt toast look I enjoy. You know, when you burn a piece of toast, we've all done that, where the toast has parts of golden brown and then that dark brown, dark black color. That's what I want, that burnt toasted look. I'm going to further contour underneath my jawline and also my nose using the same product. So just blending and buffing it in with my stippling brush. And I'm not setting this concealer with any type of powder. I actually did not use any setting powder for the rest of my face, only the loose powder to set in the areas that you saw earlier. Last area I'm using the concealer is for the nose. I'm just going to draw just very thin lines so that way I can buff it in with my finger to start off with. And then I'm going to further blend it in with my, I believe it's the JD Weighty, yes, from Luxie, the nose contour brush. And what you're going to see at the end is you don't even have to use a separate highlighting concealer or highlighting product underneath the eyes, because with this burnt toasted look, you're done. You don't even have to do that. It's so dark around the perimeter that it just gives me that highlighted appearance that I like. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s Hydrating Aqua Beauty Blush and Bronzer. And I'm going to be using a smaller stipple brush to apply the bronzer first to my cheeks. I brush it a little bit on top of my forehead and my chin, but mostly focus it on the cheek area. And this also dries down to a powder finish. Now for some highlight, I'm going to use the Becca's Backlight Priming Filter. Now here's what's interesting about this product. See how it looks so glowy on the skin? So you can apply it and mix it in with your foundation, but what I like to do, because see I get all happy, is I first put it on my plate. I use a very small eyeshadow brush, and I've been using it as my cream highlighter. I have been using liquid first, or a drop, and then I will apply either powder on top or I just leave it alone. I just keep it skin-like and just use the liquid. So I really like to use the Backlight Primer just as a liquid highlighter, and I think it just looks beautiful because the light hits it exactly where it needs to be, just like I'm walking around with a ring light on my head. So just above the eyebrows, I focus it on the cheekbones, put it wherever you want that extra glow. It's beautiful. And I don't even know if a lot of people even use the primer this way, but this is how I use it, and I love it. For more of that pregnancy glow, just apply it where I prefer to highlight when it comes to the nose, right in the tops where the eyebrows are, right on the nose, just like a little ski slope, and on the chin. Moving on to blush, I'm going to go back into the e.l.f. Aqua Beauty palette and apply the pink cream blush to my cheeks using a synthetic brush, and just look how the pink comes alive. This shade is so beautiful. I need to look at the other palettes and see if the colors are deep enough for my skin. I don't remember if they are, but this one in violet just, oh, it's so beautiful. It gives me that flush of pink, that Renaissance cherub color that I love. I'm going to pick up a little bit more and do some draping where I'm going to be applying it into my temples, back down into my cheekbones. I'm going to further add some additional glow, right? As if it's not enough. Kaleidoscope Cheek Stick. This is from the Sephora collection by Mara Hoffman in the shade Lunar. So using the same eye brush, I'm just going to apply that in the same areas that I applied the Becca Backlight Primer. Now, if you have oily skin or you're like, no, I can't do all this cream, you can do this instead. Use powder. So use Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder in Opal. This gives me that same effect as the cream in Lunar, but it's powder. So you pick cream or powder, or use both. Same with the blush. If you can't use the cream blush by e.l.f., then use a powder blush. So here I'm going to show you just by applying the Becca, I believe this is the Shimmering Blush. Let me look up the name. Yes, Shimmering Skin Perfector Blush, and that is in the shade Snapdragon. Now, for some more mist. My So AE Rose Mist, which I am almost out of, but I already bought another one. And fan it away with my fan. And to lock it in for the last time and to make sure it doesn't move for the entire day at the convention center, I use my Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray. And just to show you that it doesn't move, won't transfer. Paper towel right there. That was already left over on the other side, so it doesn't count. And that's it. That is my event makeup for complexion only glow, or pregnancy glow, as she said in the train station. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great night.